Let's move on to our fourth main topic today. And our fourth main topic today gets submitted to us by Gary Urban, who writes, "Hey, John, I noticed people in shock of De Niro being left out of nominations. But the one that sticks out to me is Willem Dafoe getting no attention for his amazing performance in The Lighthouse. For supporting actor, I know this year is super stacked in all acting categories, but come on. Is it being ignored because of how weird it is, like Hereditary and Swiss Army Man, or do you think he really just isn't in the top 5? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yeah, we have been speaking quite a bit about the whole fact that, Robert De Niro, like, for a beat, a lot of people thought he might be a front runner to win the Academy Award for Best Lead Actor in a Film. Irishman's getting a lot of attention. It's his film. And then not only did the Golden Globes not nominate him, which who cares, it's the Golden Globes, but SAG didn't nominate him. Which, as much as useless as the Golden Globes are and as completely meaningless as the Golden Globes are, the fact of the matter is, it is somewhat of a barometer for what we might expect to come later, as is SAG, the SAG Awards, the Screen Actors Guild Awards. And he's not there. It's like, oh my God, we've gone from he might be a front runner to win to, oh my God, he might not even be nominated. But getting lost in that shuffle is Willem Dafoe from Lighthouse. Now listen, they made a terrible decision, in my estimation, an erroneous decision, a lie, if you will, to run him as Best Supporting Actor when he is not a supporting actor in The Lighthouse. This is a movie of two leads. Just like Ford v. Ferrari is Matt Damon and Christian Bale, and they run them both as two leads. This was clearly a movie of two leads, but they decided to split it up and put him as Best Supporting Actor, which is a disservice to the actors who play supporting actors because this was clearly a lead role, but whatever. They chose to run him in Best Supporting Actor, and he is not getting nomination. And he didn't get it from SAG, the Screen Actors Guild. He didn't get it. That seems outrageous at first, Rob, but it plays to my contention every year. You don't understand. The Academy Award is one of the hardest things in any profession to win because you can't just be great. You got to be great and just cross your fingers that there weren't 5 other people who were equally or maybe more great than you. And that's a hard thing because let's look at the SAG nominations. Who didn't know Brad Pitt was going to get nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Of course he was. As soon as we all saw the movie, yeah. Although that's another case where he could have been run as a lead as well. Because that movie is him and Leonardo DiCaprio equally, but whatever. They run him for Best Supporting. Everything I've been hearing about Jamie Foxx in Just Mercy has been nothing but glowing. I know a lot of people who are part of a lot of the different award bodies, and they're all raving. Now, I haven't seen it yet myself, but I knew, just from the people who I know have seen the film, are talking about Jamie Foxx as maybe even being a better performance than his Academy Award-winning performance in Ray. So you kind of had to assume he was going to be there. Nobody's really surprised Joe Pesci and Al Pacino are getting these nods. Everybody's talking about how great they are. We're shocked that De Niro isn't getting it, but nope. And who didn't think Tom Hanks was going to get a nomination for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood? So in talking about Willem Dafoe didn't get a nomination, you have to then start to construct a discussion about who do you kick out to put him in. And honestly, look, would Willem Dafoe have been in my nominee list? Yes. And when I put out when I do the John Campea, the Filthies, when I do the Filthies Awards at the end of this year and I announce my nominees and my winners, I can tell you right now, spoiler alert, Willem Dafoe is going to be one of those guys. But at the same time, I don't believe myself that there is an irrefutable, beyond any dispute and beyond any reasonable doubt, that one of these performers should absolutely be kicked out to make room for Willem Dafoe because Willem Dafoe's performance was ridiculously superior to theirs. I don't think that argument can be made. Again, he's going to be on my list, but I don't think you can make a beyond a reasonable doubt argument that it is so clear that Willem Dafoe's performance is so superior to, say, Joe Pesci in Irishman, that it is beyond refute that you need to kick him out to put him in. It's tough. It's so close. And that's what makes the Oscars, Rob, so ridiculously compelling, competitive, and damn hard to get. But let me ask you, I mean, you saw Lighthouse, you saw Willem Dafoe's performance, which was great. Were you surprised that SAG, I was surprised, but are you surprised SAG didn't put him up there? And, you know, would you put him up there? How are you feeling about it?
Look, I thought his performance was amazing. But I think a lot of what goes into this is also how well is the movie regarded? How well is the movie itself regarded? And I think in the case of Hereditary or The Lighthouse, both of those movies are pretty out there. They're not standard awards fare. And I think a lot of people, The Lighthouse is very, I guess I would call it, in a way, sort of punk rock as far as movies go. You know, indie films, it was really not everyone's cup of tea. And I don't think it doesn't go down as easy as any of the other films. I mean, you have to be of a certain mindset to really love a movie like The Lighthouse. Now, you can recognize Willem Dafoe's character, but at the end of the day, are people going to be watching that movie in 20 years or 30 years and talking about it? These other movies, I think, are just more traditional. And I think the Golden Globes especially go for more traditional kinds of movies, more populist films, whereas The Lighthouse, I really enjoyed it, but it's a little, as we would say, offbeat. And I think that's one of the problems that you have with a movie like that. He gave an offbeat performance in an offbeat film, and that's not what usually the Hollywood Foreign Press goes for. But you never know. Maybe
but SAG?
Same. I mean, ultimately, I think it comes down. Yeah. I mean, maybe, but I think that you might see maybe a Spirit Award or something, or I don't know. But it's disappointing to me because the way he said "wiki," I'll never forget that. His performance. I mean, it was amazing. Okay, it was amazing.
Okay, the Academy Award nominations come out tomorrow. They don't. I'm just saying. The Academy Award nominations come out tomorrow. Is Willem Dafoe going to be on the nominee list?
I think he's a contender. I think absolutely, because the Academy is more along the lines of, they sometimes will throw in a little dark horse candidate that maybe the other, because they like to differentiate themselves.
Right.
And maybe,
I think he will. I think he will be on the Academy list. Although that defies logic because SAG didn't put him on there. And who makes up the actors branch of the Academy that puts together the nomination? SAG members. So I don't know why. I can't explain it, but I think he will be nominated for an Academy Award. Question here is, guys, do you think Willem Dafoe, number one, do you think he deserves one of the nominee spots? And if so, do you think he will get one of those nominee spots despite the fact that he was left off the SAG nomination list? What do you guys think? Jump into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. All right.